Good morning. It is just past 6 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us here on THV 11 Morning News, streaming on your TV with THV 11 Plus. I'm Hayden Balgavy. Karen is off today, but meteorologist Tracy Bean is back with us, and Ashley King now in the house to break down your traffic this morning.
Morning.
What's going on?
So I was watching traffic cameras this morning, and it looked like there was a lot of people out. Did you notice that by chance when you were coming in?
No, but I came in at 4:30.
Oh,
so,
well,
yeah.
I was just watching. I was like, there was a lot of people out because I thought maybe it was just around, because up to the 4:30 interchange was where I was noticing that at first. I'm like, well, that's travel. People.
Well, yeah, if it's anything like yesterday, yesterday was a little insane.
But even just taking a look here, I just feel like there's a lot of people out. So maybe they're trying to beat the heat. You know, it hit 107 yesterday.
Oh, I knew it got to 106.
Yeah.
Hayden, were you out mowing yesterday?
I was not. No, I was fortunately, I did though, I kid you not, 20-second story. So I have not been to the gym since before my son was born. I went yesterday. I told Tracy this before the show. I went to the gym. I am dying. I can't move my legs this morning. I'm like shaking. But indoor gym, so I was like, all good.
Where it was nice and cool.
Very nice and cool.
Yeah, I would not recommend any outdoor activities.
No.
Well, after 107, the only way you can go is down, right? So it's going to be cooler today.
Yeah, fall down.
It's going to be cooler. Let's take a look. Well, you can kind of see where that boundary that we talked about yesterday as it was making its way into the state, as it's kind of flowing along, we're still seeing a few of those showers associated with that right along there. So that, of course, is where we're seeing maybe a little bit cooler weather, and even just to our north. We're still going to see those temperatures right around 100 degrees today. I was really hoping we were going to stay around that 99 just for the fact of staying below 100, but I think we're going to hit that 100 again. We are going to see maybe a few storms as we're heading into the afternoon, but right now, really just watching those clouds out there. Really not a lot going on. That boundary to our north giving a few light showers this morning. Wanted to show you this because of the flow. We're still seeing that southerly flow there, and they've got more of a northerly flow. So big temperature difference here this morning, and it is warm out there right now. It is 85 degrees, and we are already seeing some heat index values, but you can see where that cool air is. It's in place, and where it's not this morning. It's already seeing a heat index this morning of 89. We were at 90 just a few minutes ago. So it's hot out there as far as starting the morning off anyway at 6 o'clock in the morning. So grab that water as you're grabbing your coffee, and we'll talk more about the chance for some rain later today coming up.
Tracy had this shot pulled up already when I walked in, and it's actually one of my favorites. I just love looking towards downtown Little Rock, and it usually has some pretty good sunrise views too. And we're starting to see the sun come up a little bit. This is Interstate 630 with Arkansas Children's to your right, and you can barely see the state capitol there to your left, just peeking out from above the trees. And not a lot of cars out to make a difference as far as slowdowns just yet, although like Tracy was saying, for this early in the morning, we're starting to see people on the roads already. But you can see with our live traffic camera, our map here, that we don't have any slowdowns, no incidents that are going to stall you this morning on your morning commute. But we'll check it again coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Ashley, thank you. A proposed amendment aimed at changing Arkansas's ballot initiative process will not go before voters this November. The Arkansas Supreme Court dismissed a challenge to the state's rejection of the petition signatures on Wednesday. The group Protect Our Rights, submitted more than 108,000 signatures for the Arkansas ballot measure rights amendment. The proposal would have limited lawmakers' ability to change or repeal voter-approved measures. Secretary of State Cole Jester rejected the petitions, citing a different popular name on the forms, along with duplicate signatures and signatures from outside the state of Arkansas. Supreme Court's dismissal leaves that rejection in place. A new poll is offering one snapshot of Arkansas's U.S. Senate race, showing the two candidates close. The Hendricks College Talk Business and Politics survey puts Democrat Hallie Schaffner at 47.4% and Republican Tom Cotton at 44%. Pollsters texted more than 1,200 likely voters last week. That 3.4-point gap falls within the poll's estimated margin of error of nearly 5 points. So the survey does not show a clear leader at this point. Fewer than 6% of respondents were undecided. Arkansas Republican leaders are questioning the survey and pointing to past polling misses, including one in 2020 that showed President Trump leading Joe Biden by just 2 points here in Arkansas. The president ultimately won the state by 27 points. Now, those same Hendrix College pollsters also asked voters about the governor's race. The survey puts Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders at 45%, 5 points ahead of Democratic State Senator Fred Love. That difference is about the same size as the poll's estimated margin of error. Pollsters texted more than 1,200 likely Arkansas voters last week, with 8% still undecided. Speaking of the governor, she is bringing in a fill-in justice for Arkansas Supreme Court. Yesterday, she appointed attorney Corey Cox as a special justice. He'll temporarily replace Justice Barbara Webb, who is recovering after a serious fall. Cox has done this before. Sanders appointed him in the 2023 Learns Act appeal, and again this year in 2 appeals involving special elections. He will serve through December 31st or until Webb returns. Arkansas State Senator Brian King is calling on Governor Sanders to drop plans for a new prison in Franklin County. He says it's time to sell the land and move on, looking at other ways to ease prison overcrowding. King pointed to recently released Corrections Department emails that discussed other options for adding prison space. He says the state should move away from the idea of putting thousands of new beds in one location.
We need to be looking at, regional facilities, expanding other facilities. This idea of building a mega prison has been a financial disaster from the start.
King is also calling for more scrutiny of corrections spending, questioning the cost of the state's prison medical contract and its continued use of out-of-state consultants. Arkansas lawmakers are weighing a new approach to school security. Drones designed to respond during an active shooter emergency. Now, the technology promises a fast response, but lawmakers still have questions about the cost, the capabilities, and legal liability. THV 11's Maya Ellison got a first-hand look at how exactly it would work.
These drones were at the center of attention at the Capitol today. The company behind them says they could buy police precious time in an emergency. But before they ever fly in an Arkansas school, lawmakers say there is a lot to figure out. At the Capitol Wednesday, a company pitching drones as new school security tools made its case to Arkansas lawmakers. Campus Guardian Angel says their drones can respond within seconds when a campus faces an active shooter emergency.
So what we're doing is we're using drones with less lethal effects to protect schools and to stop active shooters if they were to come into a school.
CEO Justin Marston says the drones would wait in locked docks on campus, then be piloted remotely from Texas after an alert. They're designed to use light, sound, and pepper-based deterrents, all while sending video to law enforcement.
If they're trying to get from point A to point B, they go pretty fast. As they get close to the, maybe the classroom that they're trying to get into, they're going to start to slow down. And then once we find the assailant, it depends on what he's doing as to how we're going to kind of apply the effects.
We take all the video streams and we only look at them during the event, but that's how we build up situational awareness of what's happening through a shared common operating picture. We share that with law enforcement, and that's how we can see, we have like a Mission Impossible view of what's happening in the school.
Now for the company, it's a new way to buy first responders time. But for lawmakers, it's a new set of questions.
Legal liability, what their capabilities are from a lethal, non-lethal standpoint.
I mean, we're learning and reading and trying to gather information, but drone technology's been around for a while and is being used in a lot of different applications.
Marston tells me a part of that conversation all comes down to how much would this really cost.
Around $40 for the whole year, and so an 80,000 square foot school would be $20K a year.
With programs in Florida and Georgia, officials say they hope to add Arkansas to the list. But for now, the technology may be flying around, but whether this becomes a bigger part of school security across the state is still up in the air.
Our goal is that just becomes part of history and nobody really thinks about it and talks about it anymore.
Marston says the company is working to bring the system to Arkansas State University and that they want to keep talking with other schools and universities too. Now, this demonstration was also seen last year in Conway School District, but Marston says they chose not to follow through. Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Today, state leaders, lawmakers, and doctors will meet in Little Rock for a maternal health roundtable. The Arkansas Center for Women and Infants Health at UAMS and the Arkansas Hospital Association are hosting the event. Governor Sanders will take part with discussions focused on rural access to care and the state's 2027 maternal health priorities. They'll look at ways to improve outcomes in a state that ranks 49th in the U.S. for the overall health of women and children. 6:11 on your Thursday morning. Let's send it back over to Tracy, helping you plan your day today.
I might rename this one from Day Planner to Graphic of Hope. Here's
Graphic
why.
of Hope.
Graphic of Hope. Here's why. We've still got this southerly flow, right? And it's starting us out warm, and it's going to keep us warm for the afternoon. High right around 100, 101. But you'll notice winds do shift a bit, right, from the northwest, and that's going to start to bring in some drier air. And we could even see a little rain. I'm not expecting a lot of rain, but, you know, a little rain will do. We will start to see that humidity kind of coming back a little bit. So as you're planning your day, and we're still, again, seeing that southerly flow, but I would say by 4:35, we could start to see some of those showers beginning to develop, especially in the southern portion of the state. Now, some of these could be a bit strong at times. We're mainly just expecting some wind as far as that severe threat goes. And again, that will be minimal, I think, as well, but mainly southern Arkansas is what's going to see. But back behind that, cooler air, and we finally got those winds coming in from the right direction, cooling us off a little bit. We'll talk about what your weekend looks like coming up.